Today on the MWHS Wildcat News. Millard West is now hosting 24 German exchange students. They have been able to explore classes they can't take in Germany, and host families have been providing them with the full American experience. The drama department put on their annual musical from October 10th through the 13th. Both cast and crew members worked hard to make sure this imaginative story came to life. All four choirs showcased their vocal talents at the annual fall concert on October 24th. Former orchestra teacher Patricia Ritchie played the cello during the event as all the students sang their hearts out. Senior Sienna Davis undoubtedly has a passion for art. She has been able to make a profit by becoming a freelance artist, making hundreds of dollars each year. Millard West football has been able to keep their record perfect so far this season. Their true test begins tonight with their first playoff game against Lincoln Pius. This and more on the MWHS Wildcat News.
Good morning, Wildcats, and welcome back to the MWHS Wildcat News.
Today is November 1st, and I'm your host, Edison Geiler.
And I'm Caitlin Willard.
We have another round of stories for you this morning, the first of which dealing with the German exchange students.
On Tuesday, October 22nd, the Millard West population rose, seeing as 24 German exchange students had entered the building and are taking classes they are interested in.
They are currently living with host families that are trying to provide them with the full Nebraska and American experience. Caden Roth and Annabelle Harshbarger talked to these students and picked their brains about their experiences thus far.
On October 22nd, 25 German students came to visit America to get a new understanding of the culture and experience student life here.
When Frau Turner taught at her previous school, she had this same exchange going with this school, Weiblingen. It's called Salier Gymnasium. And so she brought this with us, or to us, when she started here at Millard West.
Throughout the following weeks, the exchange students will be exposed to a number of different local attractions, including Ballas Pumpkin Patch, Millard West football games, and the Henry Dorley Zoo and Aquarium. The day after their arrival, German students and their host students went to Camp Carol Joy to do a low ropes team building activity.
We did a high ropes course where we had less and less support. We had to learn to work together.
We asked the exchange students a couple of questions about the differences between America and Germany.
Because I wanted to see the differences between German and American high schools.
Because I've always been interested in America to see the differences, and it's a different continent and I wanted to see that.
Because I want to have fun in America and see the difference between America and Germany.
Yes, I'm interested to go to the science classes and to the German class.
Chemistry and German.
I'm interested in sports and science.
The school systems are very different to Germany, and the toilets also. So yes.
The food and the school system. The school is huge compared to ours.
It's very different because you eat more sweets and fast food, and the school.
Next year, some of the current host students will be making a similar trip to Germany where they will be staying with their student.
We've done the exchange for 2 years now. We traveled in the summer of 2018, and then last fall, the first group of Germans came here, and then so this is our second year.
The German exchange students will be here for the following week. We wish them a good first visit to America. This has been Caden Roth and Annabelle Harshbarger reporting for the MWHS Wildcat News.
The German exchange students are here up until November 7th, so be sure to say hi to them in the hallways or whenever you see them.
The Millard West Drama Department recently finished up their musical, Amelie, which took place before fall break from October 10th through the 13th. This musical differed from previous years, seeing as this was showcased in the fall rather than the winter and spring.
Assistant Broadcast Editor Bailey Christensen and Assistant Sports Director Miguel Paredes talked to the cast and crew to see how it came together.
Through October 10th to the 13th, the musical Amelie came to life by the hands of the drama department. Since July, crew members have spent days' worth of work turning the stage into a platform to display the whimsical world of Amelie as she takes her imagination to the next level.
I play Amelie, and Amelie is kind of the main person that you follow throughout the story of the musical. The character is she's very socially introverted because of the things that happened in her childhood, but she's also very curious and whimsical, but she's like scared to get close to people, and that's kind of what drives the whole plot of the story, I would say.
I'm Bella Riley and I play young Amelie. It was really interesting because at first I was like, okay, young Amelie is very outgoing, but when she's an adult, she's very shy. And her imagination, it saves her as a child, but it cripples her as an adult. And that really opened my eyes to the character of Amelie, and how young Amelie bridges to adult Amelie.
Precise measurements were made to make sure the musical was physically the best it could be. Yet each member faced their own obstacles they had to tackle through the course of the show.
I'm Nick Brugman and I play Nino Kenkopois. He is the love interest of the show. Some of the obstacles were trying to find the balance of the quirkiness in my character and the realism of being a person, kind of.
There's a face of God, there is everything that you want.
Some challenges I've had while in the process of this musical is definitely trying to bring the character to life and finding all aspects of my character and then bringing them in a way that the audience can perceive them.
Behind the scenes, crew members put in a great amount of effort to make sure the musical ran smoothly throughout.
My name's Edison Geiler. I'm the stage manager for the musical Amelie, which means I'm kind of helping backstage, making sure everything flows super smoothly, getting mic changes, getting set changes, all flowing well.
Not only did crew members gain an experience of a lifetime by participating and learning the roles within the drama department, but they gained friendships and even a family off the stage.
Theater is such a familial experience. It's truly one of the only art forms where for a month or a couple months, everyone has one goal, which is putting on an amazing show. So it's just natural that you start creating bonds and you grow a family.
With the help of props, favorable characters, and backdrops, each scene separated itself into a unique piece.
My favorite part of this musical would either have to be Elton John song, because who doesn't love Elton John? But then also, I really like the way it ends, because most musicals end with a big bang, but this is just very subtle and it's really beautiful, and I think I really like that change. I think this musical is really different, and it's serious, but it's also really whimsical, and I think it's something the audience is really going to connect with, and I'm excited for people to see it.
The hard work within the drama department once paid off again, as the musical was an unforgettable sight to see. This has been Miguel Paredes and Bailey Christensen signing off for the MWHS Wildcat News.
Many gathered in the auditorium last Thursday to watch Millard West's annual fall choir concert. All of Voce, singers, cantori, and transcendents got to show off their vocal talents.
Former orchestra teacher Patricia Ritchie also played the cello at the event. Connor Robb and Alexis Behensky report from the site.
On October 24th, the choir department had their fall concert. All 4 choir groups, including Voce, cantori, singers, and transcendents, were featured. Choir director Zach Bjornson, as well as members of the choir, go on to share their feelings about how the show went.
The first one out of the gate is always a little bit interesting logistically wise. Musically, I think it was great.
I thought the show went really well. It was fun and energizing. It's fun to see all the people smile after each song.
Choir students have become more prepared for the concert over the semester and feel that they have improved greatly since the beginning of the year.
I've personally improved this year because I've been able to reach the notes after constant practice and support from my friends.
Former Millard West Orchestra teacher Patricia Ritchie made an appearance during the concert. She played the cello along with one of Singer's musical pieces. The concert had a large variety of music incorporated into each group.
For Singers, the selections were based off of the all-state rep. We wanted to make sure that those kids were as prepared for those auditions as possible, so we programmed it into the concert. For Voce, we're trying to pick music that separates those two groups, girls and guys. Younger singers tend to do better and grow at a faster rate when they're in like-gendered ensembles. So we did that. That's why we picked those pieces, and then kept it light. Only one piece that they did all together, you know, to challenge them that way. Cantori had quite a variety of music, so I try to give them. They've got more time, uninterrupted time, than the other choirs to rehearse. So I give them a variety. We had some Latin, a Brazilian piece, you know, a spiritual. We're just trying to mix it up and keep them on their toes so they can sing a variety of styles.
The Millard West Choir will next perform on Monday, December 16th for their winter concert. This has been Connor Robb and Alexis Behensky for the MWHS Wildcat News.
While many talented students at West use their creativity in their artwork, senior Sienna Davis uses her artistic abilities to make a profit on her art.
Being a freelance artist, she draws upon customer requests and has earned money by doing so. Dana Summers and Jenna Reynolds bring you this feature.
Senior Sienna Davis is making money for herself like many other high school students do, but not at a typical job. She has spent the last few years working as a freelance artist, selling her own original artwork.
In a broader sense, a freelance artist is pretty much doing things upon people's request, kind of. So normally when I do it, people message me and ask for me to draw something specific. I kind of work out the details with them, they pay me, and then I draw it for them. I usually specialize in like character design and just some small illustrations using other people's characters, since that's primarily like what I like to do.
Many teachers have worked with Davis in the past and acknowledge her artistic talents.
She had a really good work ethic. She wanted to put her best foot forward and turn in high quality artwork for each project. And she did let her personal style go into each project. I do remember one in particular where she covered the entire outside of one of her pottery projects with different characters and things that she invented. So it turned out really, really well.
Customers are able to get in contact with Davis through her social media, where they can direct message her with requests for a purchase. She is most active on Twitter, where she posts her finished pieces and offers special promotions.
I've been doing this since February 2016, and I have probably made maybe $1,500 to $2,000 a year.
During her time as a freelance artist, Davis has acquired many artistic and business skills. She plans to put these talents to use in a future marketing career. This has been Jenna Reynolds and Dana Summers with the MWHS Wildcat News.
It's been 9 weeks of undefeated play for Millard West football, but the true test begins now. Later tonight, Millard West plays Lincoln Pius in the first game of the playoffs.
Sports Director Cody Bennett and Assistant Sports Director Miguel Paredes talked with the coaches and players to pick their brains about how they thought the upcoming tournament will go.
The Millard West Wildcat varsity football team end their regular season with a 9-0 undefeated record. We had a chance to talk to some players and coaches about how they feel about their season and the upcoming playoffs.
It's really exciting, especially you know, we haven't won state in quite a few years. I think it was 2008 was the last time, and I think we have a good group of guys, and especially it'd be a big year if it happened this year.
Well, obviously it's huge, like going into the playoffs, like having for a successful regular season, but you know, you can start as good as you want, and you know, you're not guaranteed like a good finish. You know, you can't take any team lightly just because, you know, maybe you beat them in the regular season, but you know, it's really hard to beat the same team twice in 1 year. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's really good things being able to play at Buell for the games, but you know, you still have to go in every week, you know, thinking you're 0-0 and evenly matched with the other team.
I feel a lot better than we did last year. Knowing that we went through all the teams undefeated really shows that we have a great team, and I know we can pull it together for any team that we play and any team that we come across in the playoffs.
Just trying to be 1-0 every single week. Just keep plugging, doing what we're doing, and hopefully it pays off.
My confidence has really grown, and I think just as the weeks got on and carried on, teams were kind of just catching on to that, and that we're going to run the ball, and I think us throwing it just kind of caught them off guard and kind of gives us a lot more confidence going into the playoff.
Practice is about the same. I guess we're all like kind of with the same mentality. You know, we want to get a ring, but as pretty much going into each week, I mean, we're going to take every team difficult. Obviously, we're going to prepare as we have for every game this season. You know, we're not going to think ahead too far. Like, we're not going to be thinking about the state championship, like, and who we could play then. We're going to be thinking about each team, each matchup, each week, the same as we have pretty much all year.
Even though tensions are high, especially during the playoffs, players and coaches get their insight on what their game plan is.
Just win this week. That's the only thing that matters. In terms of preparation, it doesn't change. It just there's no guarantee that we play next week, so you got to make sure that you do everything right this week, and you don't leave any stones unturned, and just do everything in your power to extend your season.
Go into the games knowing that Ethan is more of a run heavy, I'm more of a pitch and pass heavy type of guy. So in practice, me and Ethan will kind of divide up and he goes up the middle more and I'll go outside more, or things like that, where in the passing game he knows that I'm going to be going out the entire time and he's going to be blocking and sometimes going out.
Make sure to catch this week's playoff match at Buell Stadium against Pius at 7:45. If you can't make it, strive.tv/Miller-West and we'll have all that covered for you. We'll see you Friday, Wildcats.
Thank you all for tuning in to this edition of the MWHS Wildcat News.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at MWHS Catalyst. And for more stories, check out our website, millardwestcatalyst.com.
See you later, Wildcats.